Stephen Jones joins us now here on 105.3 The Fan. And a good afternoon to you, sir. How the heck are you?
I'm doing good, guys. How you doing?
We're doing great, fired up to take on the Giants. This has been a really good team. They won 2 Super Bowls, 10, 15 years ago. But you guys have been killing them recently, Stephen. Why do you think you've had their number so much lately?
Well, anytime you've got these division rivalries, for the most part, they tend to even themselves out over the course of time. But, I just think, with us having our a couple of quarterbacks in a row that, have been established between Romo and then, of course, Dak. We've had our quarterback position pretty secure. I know they've had a little work in progress, and, I think they got a good one in Daniel Jones, but he's injured, and, those things can sometimes work against you. But we've been fortunate, but they're a great franchise, been known forever by the Maras, and then also the Tishes, and they do things the right way, and I know they'll get back on, get things back going again, and I just hope they wait past this game before they get started.
Looking at the schedule, Steve, and how difficult the schedule gets in December, how important are these next 3 games against non-playoff teams that you have a clean run?
Yeah, I just think you got to take each game at a time. We don't want to look ahead. We've had an example of that already this year, with the Cardinals, who whipped our butt really good in Phoenix. And, you just can't afford to look past any team. They pay their guys. As I said, they all have great coaching staffs. These owners pay their coaches well. They've got good pedigrees. They pay their players. They spend to the cap. You just got to take each week, 1 week at a time. And, you can't get into bundling games or thinking, hey, we gotta do this, we got to do that. I think it's just 1 week at a time. Work to get better each week. I think we're doing that offensively. I think we're, doing things better and better each week. Defensively, we've had a good year. Certainly, I know it was disappointing, to Dan last week that 4 big drives they did have, unfortunately, all ended up in touchdowns. And, sometimes when you get a drive like that going against you, you gotta at least come out holding them to a field goal. And fortunately, we didn't get that done. So, we've got a lot of things we can focus on. We just have to continue to work on executing. I think we've got a great group of men, a great group of players who play the game the right way. They come to work every day. They focus every day. And I do think if we'll do things the right way, then this team has a chance to do some special things.
Stephen, I know every week you sit down and you get a chance to go through the tape and kind of with your own eyes see, how the game unfolded the day before. I'm watching your tape and I'm seeing everybody's complaining about Brandin Cooks not getting the ball. Do you believe in some, bad luck when it comes to, things that you create for him or opportunities that he's going to get, just so happens that maybe the route gets covered, or I feel like you're trying to get him the ball, but maybe, like I say, coverage, bad luck. Am I going down the right path with that? Because I feel like they're trying, your coaches are trying to create opportunities for him.
Well, no question. We were sitting out there with Will the other day. I was, and watching practice, and it seemed like Brandin was catching a ball every other play.
Yeah.
And so there's no question he's in our game plan week in and week out. Sometimes, it's just, Dak happens because the feel he's getting for a defense look the other way. I know, down there a couple times, Cooks was wide open. He just was looking the opposite side and didn't look his way. So Cooks had some opportunities there. I think Dak may have missed one throw, most of the game and for the entire game, and happened to be one of them was to him where he was wide open. And I agree with you, Brian. I think sometimes it's just bad luck. And but I do know the other team has their eyes on him. He certainly takes the top off of that, and if you sleep on him, he's going to make a big play on you. And at the end of the day, right now we're getting the ball to, as we all know, to CD quite a bit. When you got a receiver who's getting, 12 to 15 targets a game, then, some guys are not going to get as much. I know Ferguson certainly is playing really well right now, and right behind him is Schoonmaker, and you just keep thinking, well, if he'll get his targets, he'll get his catches, and it's a good problem. I mean, Tony Pollard the other day, you looked up at the end of the game, said, well, he could have used 5 or 6 more touches. But a good problem to have. We do have, I think, 5, 6, 7, 8 weapons out there that Dak feels good about. It's just sometimes it's your day and sometimes it's bad luck.
Stephen, you and I are from the same bottle of wine when it comes to roughly our ages and playing college football at the same time. And we practiced all the time when we had to. Is there something to, like, keeping your team healthy and guys not practicing? Do you feel like it affects maybe when you get into these 9-1-1 moments of a game where, you're trying to no time on the clock? Does lack of practice time hurt you maybe in those situations? I think it's a fine line there, Brian. I hear exactly what you're saying in terms of the preparation and time on the job in terms of the practice. But at the same time, we're getting ready to go into a run of games here where we're going to be playing on Thursdays around Thanksgiving and going to have short weeks. And I know Mike's, really monitoring that. He's a big believer in keeping these players fresh. We really feel like our team knows, feels good about the expectations and what Dan expects on the defensive side, what Mike expects on the offensive side, what Bones expects on special teams. They're getting their mental reps. It's just, the big question is, do you miss the actual physicality and the physical reps? And I think Mike errs toward the side that this is you got a 17-game regular season plus playoffs, and he wants his team to still have its legs. When you get into week, hopefully 18, 19, 20, that the guys are still fresh. We're predominantly healthy. We've obviously lost a few guys for the year, but overall we're healthy, and we want to keep these guys fresh as we move forward too. But totally understand the part there about is more practice time. As you said, we're the same vintage. You grew up, which the more you did it, you felt like more was more. Now less may be more, and it's just a fine line that we all do. As you know, when Jason Garrett was here with Rod Marinelli, they banged them up pretty good week in and week out. And they'd stay on the field long hours. And, there's a lot of different ways to go about doing that. But certainly we support and feel talked a lot about what we're doing as a team and feel like it should work.
As you talk about weighing health with the practice reps, what is your plan for the remainder of the season with Tyron Smith?
That's going to be one of those things that it's, certainly week to week, but at the same time, Tyron's one of those vets. I like to look around the, other sports too. I mean, the NBA, they rest some of these, older guys. It's long seasons. And we all know that guys like Zach Martin and Tyron Smith, some of these savvy veterans, they know how to play the game. And they've got certainly a lot of tread on their tire. And that's one of the reasons that you look to, taking the workload off, especially some of the veteran guys that I think it's a benefit to not to serve them up out there in practice and let them get their legs up under them. I think Tyron played one of his better games this last week against Philadelphia, and he was fresh, and, he got some time off the week before, but was prepared for the game mentally. And like I said, I think he scored had one of his better grades for the year playing like that. So those are all things that we'll continue to monitor. Certainly you lean toward, especially with some of the older guys, if you will, in the locker room, giving them more chances to we've done it with DeMarcus Lawrence before, obviously the Zach Martins of the world. Give them the best chance to recuperate and be 100% for game day.
Stephen, we were having a conversation yesterday of how good is the offensive line overall playing. The films kind of suggest maybe we're struggling a little bit here and there. The analytics say the Cowboys' offensive line's been playing well, and it's difficult to know for sure, what we should take from the analytics and what we should leave. But how do you guys evaluate it? How good is your offensive line playing, Stephen?
We think our offensive line's playing really solid. I think they'll just continue to get better as a unit, game in and game out. If we can keep that first unit together, the one that we all penciled in as the starters before you start the season. We've been fortunate to have those guys together the last couple of games. And, I think when they're together, we play really good. Certainly, I know people want to point a little finger at Steele after the game against Philly. It's a good group of edge rushers he was going against out there with Riddick and Sweat. At times you got to, I think Mike even said you got to, see a little of that. But as we all know, Steele's coming off a major knee injury. And, sometimes, that thing catches up a little bit. And another one that could, maybe use a little time to rest that knee and get some fluid off of it. But overall, I think our line is very solid and has the chance to continue to grow and get better. I do know, people want to, don't want us to get rolling, running the ball. They know that's what we would like to do in terms of controlling the clock and time of possession and playing complementary football. But, as we've all seen here lately, if you gang up on that and put everybody up there, then Dak, with the weapons that he has, is capable of really moving the football and scoring points.
Stephen, is this something to look at as far as you have Steele and Pollard and Gallup as well? They had significant injuries, needed surgery, and they got big contracts before they went back and played and proved that they were coming back from the injuries. Is that something you guys would take another look at?
I think if you always look at everything, full body of work, you learn from everything. Now, Pollard didn't get a long-term contract. He's playing under a franchise tag, but you nailed it with Gallup and Steele. We did extend them out on a long-term contract, both players. And, I think we're going to end up liking what we see when this is all said and done. But that being said, you always have to learn from experiences and know where your risks are. And we've been in this business 30 years, and, we've seen those risks play out in a positive way. And we've also, over the course of time, you see some that bite you. So you're not always going to get it right. You obviously think, when you're talking about two of those guys that we did extend out for a period of time, and Gallup and Steele, the person plays into that as well. How, the football character, how hard they work, what type of man they are in terms of how they go about their business, both on the field and off the field. All that plays into what you look at. But, there's no absolute in any of this right way to do it. You see teams do both, and you obviously see good results, and you see some that don't work out so well. So that's part of our business and, part of the art of the deal as you try to put these teams together.
Stephen, I didn't believe I'd ever say this, but I'd hate to see a game we didn't play without Marquise Bell on your defense.
He's just a very instinctive football player, Brian. You've seen it. I mean, he just he seems he's not the biggest guy in there, and
heck no,
he doesn't have. He's a little narrow hip, but he just seems to avoid blocks and make plays. And I think he's going to be able to go again. I mean, he's tough. He's very mature for his age. And here you're talking about a college free agent who was playing safety, and now he's playing linebacker. And
right.
He's doing it at a very, very high level. And I'm with you. We certainly need him out there. When he's out there, he makes plays.
Well, Stephen, in the words of your dad, circa 2012 in Oxnard, California, we can't wait to get out to AT&T Stadium and watch y'all kick the New York Giants' ass.
Well, we better come and go to work, and hopefully, we've been very fortunate at AT&T Stadium. Our fans have really come out for us, and we're on a good streak out there, and we need to hopefully keep that going.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Have a great weekend. Appreciate you.
You too, guys. Take care.